Daddy never was the Cadillac kind. He said some things just glitter and shine.
We're the songwriters. Hey y'all, I'm here today with Nashville legendary songwriter Dave Gibson. Dave, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, Tom. I really appreciate being here, man.
How long have you been working and living in Nashville?
42 years.
No kidding?
Yeah, as of last June.
What did you do before you came here?
I was a Chippendale dancer.
Yeah? We can find that somewhere on YouTube?
No, you don't want to see that. No, I had a band in Chicago for probably almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And of course, I moved up there out of college, and I'm originally from Arkansas and West Texas, so I'm sort of a hybrid.
Yeah.
I had a really great band in Chicago for many, many years, like almost 10, and I taught school up there. I went up there to be a commercial artist. Out of school, I did.
Oh, really? Like graphics?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Graphics, and then I taught school for 4 years, which kept me out of Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, back in the day,
Yeah.
it was a draft deferred job, so I was very fortunate to not have to go.
Yeah.
But 82, I moved here to Nashville, and I've been here ever since, and it's the longest place I've ever lived in my life.
So how long did it take you from the time you got to town till the time you had your first little bit of success?
Well, you know, some people have called me the luckiest man in show business because within a year I had a hit.
Really?
Yeah.
What was your first hit?
Midnight Fire with Steve Wariner.
Oh, yeah. I love that song.
Yeah. It was like I met the right guy at the right time, and he liked me, Tony Brown.
Oh, Tony Brown.
At RCA at the time, and I walked into his office, played him a couple songs. He said, "I like that." I said, "That's a hit." And I had another song. He said, "Let's cut those two." We did. Tried to get me a record deal there, and then Joe Galante, who ran the label, said, "Well, he sounds kind of like Steve Wariner." And Tony said, "Damn, you don't sound like Steve Wariner at all." I mean, good God. And so he said, "But you got to write me a song for him." So I did. I went out and wrote this song with a guy named Louis Anderson.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know Louis, but he's a great writer, and first song I ever co-wrote in Nashville.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. And now what year was that?
1982, end of 82, 83.
So all these years later, I'm sure hundreds and hundreds of cuts.
Yeah, I've been very, very fortunate, very blessed in my life. That song got me a writing deal at the Oak Ridge Boys Company, Silver Line, Gold Line Music. And I ended up having, I think, 4 or 5 hits out of there. I had my first #1 with Tanya Tucker.
Oh, what song was that?
If It Don't Come Easy. I took it to my publisher, who was a guy named Noel Fox. He ran Silver Line Music for the Oak Ridge Boys. He heard it and he says, I hate that. I hate that. Because I'd spent $600 on the demo. And he says, I hate it even more. He says, so in the meantime, I believed in it. So I took it over to Jerry Crutchfield, who was producing Tanya. And I played it for him. And he said, damn, I like that. I'm going to play it for Tanya.
Yeah.
He did, and she loved it, and there you go. Noel had to give me a #1 party. And he says, I still hate that song, and I'm not paying for the demo.
It's funny. I know. I talked to a guy one time that was a songwriter, and he hadn't had any success yet. And he said, man, I hope that all my songs that suck don't ever get cut because I don't want people to think I'm a bad writer. And I'm like, hey, if they get cut, you're not a bad writer. No. You know, even if you think they suck.
I mean, I think every writer's his own worst critic, you know.
So what advice would you give to somebody that's wanting to do this for a living, to either to be a songwriter or be in the music biz?
I tell them to leave town.
We don't need you.
Welcome to Nashville. Now leave.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.
Right.
We got too much competition. Just, you know, do what your heart tells you to do. That's what I did. You know, I always wanted to come to Nashville and finally did after many, many years. But believe in yourself and believe in your songs, and network like a madman.
Yeah.
You know, just get yourself out there and play every joint you can. You know, so people hear your songs and bigger writers want to write with you. Just it's all about networking. And Nora Wilson told me one time that, son, it's all about the volume.
The volume.
It's the volume. Right.
Oh yeah, as in quantity, volume, not
Yes,
like as in
that's
loudness.
what I mean. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's true. Eventually, the odds are gonna work in your favor if the more stuff you have.
That's right.
Has there ever been any times in your career since you came here that you thought about hanging it up or heading out of town and saying, I've had enough of this?
Well, when all these people started moving here and the traffic got so bad, I started thinking about it. but no, the music has always saved me. A song has always saved me. That's the way I always look at it. And even though, you have dry spells and you don't have something on the radio, or you don't have something out there, those are the times that you've got to keep working, because that's the downtime. And so you got to have all those, it's like loading your gun, it's like, it's got to have a big clip of songs.
Yeah, exactly. I know, I feel like sometimes writing, it's sort of like you're chopping wood, and every day you're chopping wood, and you got more wood, and your wood pile keeps growing, but you got to spend time selling the wood also.
That's the thing.
It's both sides of the coin. You can't just write and you have to pitch your own stuff, and by any means necessary, you got to get your stuff cut.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, is the music fun in the beginning, and then it's like the music business. And they're two different things. And if you don't take care of business, it won't take care of you, later on, because a lot of the younger people don't, they don't understand that.
When you came to town, did you come primarily to be an artist or to be a writer, or both?
Both. I came here, I always say it, I came here as a singer-songwriter. I ended up being a songwriter-singer for 10 years before I ever had a record deal.
Yeah.
And that was the Gibson Miller Band.
Yeah, and you guys had some hits with that group.
Well, me and Blue, a guy introduced the two of us, a guy named Doug Johnson.
Yep.
Great producer. He had produced Doug Stone, and I went to pitch him songs because I'd given up being an artist. I'd tried everything in the world to be in been a bunch of bands, and people had spent money in the studio on me and trying to get me a deal. And I said, finally, I just said, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. Yeah. I'm just going to write songs. And then that's when it happened.
I've heard that story so many times of people that say, when I finally had success was when I said, I give up, I'm quitting. I don't care anymore. I'm going to do what I want. I've heard that story a million times. I heard Michael Murphy say that about his song Wildfire and that album.
He told that story one night. I was playing with him at the Bluebird.
But it goes back to, you got to go with what your heart says. This is what I feel like is right for me. The way he said it was, he said, it was my last shot. I was like, I'm going to go out. If I'm going out on something I totally believe in. And that was what opened the door for him. Well, there's two of your songs that I love that I want to talk to you about today. And the first one I wanted to talk to you about was Daddy Never Was the Cadillac Kind. So who did you write that one with, and how did that song come to be?
Did Bernie Nelson come today? He's not here. Okay, good. Well, I wrote it by myself.
Oh, yeah. No, Bernie, he won't watch this. Bernie doesn't have YouTube.
Well, he says the same thing about me every time I introduce a song, But went over to his place. That was, when was that? Late 80s or something like that. And went over his place to write, and he said, I got this idea called Daddy Never Was a Cadillac Kind. And I said, Bernie, my dad loved Cadillacs. He'd order a Cadillac or a Buick. Yeah. Whichever one came in first, that's the one he got.
Really?
Yeah, he loved Cadillacs. And I said, but, I can lie a little bit. Yeah.
You can play a role. That's what we do as writers, right?
Well, we are writers, We can do whatever we want to.
Yeah. So when y'all started out, did you have just the title, or did you have sort of the whole three-part thing of it?
What we figured that it was going to be, we'll have him, raising the kid who's the singer, and raising the family and taking care of everybody. Yeah. And then at the end, I mean, that whole thing at the end, you know, that when they drove him away in the Cadillac, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And just like, wow, that's it. That's the whole thing right there, you know, the hook.
That's my favorite kind of country song, you know, that has that killer twist of ending, a twist of the title.
Private Malone is one of my favorite songs. Oh my God, I love that.
To me, I feel like a lot of times great songs are set up kind of like really good jokes, right?
They are.
Because there's usually like a 3-part thing in each joke.
Yeah.
You know, 3 guys walk into the bar. First guy says this happens.
Right.
Second guy walks in the bar, this happens. The third guy walks in the bar, that's the punchline. I mean, the difference in songs is our punchline is the chorus.
Right.
But I just love how you guys took that and twisted it at the end. And even though Daddy never was a Cadillac kind, he's...
Hope you enjoyed the ride.
Yeah.
Because here I am crying, but I had to laugh, you know.
That's great. Well, you've got to play that one today.
Absolutely.
We were poor when I was a youngin'. Don't remember ever going hungry. Daddy made sure we didn't do without. Went to school with some of these fellas that had money, and I was jealous. I didn't know then what I know now. Daddy said you can't judge a book but looking at the cover, it's what's inside that really matters. 'Cause Daddy never was the Cadillac kind. He said some things just glitter and shine. Taught us that love was the one thing money couldn't buy. Daddy never was Cadillac kind. Left home right out of high school. Got me a big car, thought it was real cool. Cruising around the old neighborhood. See Daddy after church on Sunday. Said you'd have to go riding with me someday. Just said no. Asked me how I bought it, I told him on credit. You know, Daddy just smiled. I'll never forget it, 'cause Daddy never was the Cadillac kind. He said some things glitter and shine. Thought I said love was the one thing money couldn't buy. Daddy never Cadillac. Took a while, but now I'm grown. Settled down, the kids of my own. The more I give them, and the more they want. Daddy left us last November. Can't remember him ever looking better. All laid out in his Sunday best. Sure, still all that attention, all he'd have wanted was a few words mentioned. The simple man simply laid to rest. Well, as I drove him away in that big Cadillac with a tear in my eye, you know I had to laugh. 'Cause Daddy never was the Cadillac kind. He said some things glitter and shine. Just this one time, I hope Daddy enjoyed the ride. 'Cause Daddy never was the Cadillac kind. Daddy never was the Cadillac kind. No, he liked Mercedes. Rolls Royces. It's song basically about my grandma. Yeah.